patient is in control, and you guys know, well, I can get an MRI over here for $500, but if I go over there it's $2,000, where are you going to go? You're going to go over there, it's $500, aren't you? And as long as the patients are starting to buy like you would go buy groceries, I mean, for crying out loud, you guys go down to Clarksville to save $2 on a pair of tennis shoes. I mean, I'm serious. You do that, but you won't. But you won't drive 5 miles to save $5,000 on a CAT scan. Oh, the insurance thing, I don't know. You know, it's the insurance, and I got a bill 6 months later, and I owe $3,000. So, what I'm suggesting, a way to help solve some of these problems, is if it's patient-driven. If you bought your health care, just like you buy your tennis shoes, and you buy your milk and your gas. I mean, I'll drive halfway across town to save 2 cents a gallon on gas. And if you did that with your health care, and you knew going into that elective knee surgery, well, you know, you go online, oh my goodness, if I went to this hospital, it's going to cost me $500 with my insurance, but if I go to this hospital, it's going to cost me $5,000, and my surgeon goes to both of them, well, I think I'll go to this one. Doesn't that make sense to everybody? So, yeah. I mean, I'm not like the smartest guy in the block. But when it comes to money, you can ask my mom over there, I'm a tightwad. And when it comes to somebody else's money, I'm even a bigger tightwad. So if you ask me, those are two of the biggest problems that face us with healthcare. You've got doctors that are running scared, that are doing what they have to do to protect themselves. And, you know, without them protecting themselves, you won't have a doctor. And you've got patients that don't consume their health care like they consume everything else. Let me tell you one of these little stories. I saw Harry Reid on an interview the other day. And he was spinning this whole healthcare thing, saying how everybody loves him now, and how people in airplanes are saying, hey, Harry. And he said this lady in church passed him a note, and it said, thank you for passing that. Now my daughter has insurance, which is either he made up the story or the lady was sadly misinformed. Because we all know that nobody got insurance overnight. That's 4 or 5 years from now. So either he's misinformed or she's misinformed. But anyway, I'll give you a true story about a lady. Her name is Beautiful. Okay, I'm not going to give you her real name, but it's real close to that. And Beautiful has been a patient of mine since I've been in Madison. One of the first ones I had way back when I was downtown clinic. She has diabetes. She has high blood pressure. She came in her regular checkups, but she was probably in her 50s. She had no insurance. She was a babysitter. She was single, and she paid cash. When she didn't have enough money, she had 2 sons and a daughter. They chipped in and took care of her business. She got her labs done. She never balked and screamed about me doing labs because she didn't have insurance. She said, do what you think I need to do. And I try to be careful. And when I gave her medicine, she try to keep it cheap. I don't have a lot of money, and we try to keep it cheap. But she paid for all of her medicine. She paid for all of her health care out of her pocket or with the aid of her family. And one other thing that she did that I find just really novel, and this might just shake you a little bit, but she went and got mammograms every year. And she paid for them herself. She didn't have any insurance. She didn't have like a charity care thing. She just went and she paid for them herself. And she told me, I feel like I need to get a yearly mammogram. And she paid like $100, and then of course the prices kept going up, but she kept paying for them. And one year they found a tumor about the size of a pea, and she went to a surgeon, they cut it out, and she hasn't had any cancer since then. And my respect for her was always high. But after she went through that, my respect for her just went, I mean, we're talking about patriots and all that kind of thing today. And, you know, we talk about the American way and opportunity and access to health care and all this kind of thing. there was no impedance to her access to health care. Nobody said she couldn't come to the doctor. I mean, she didn't have insurance, but she didn't die on the street. She took it upon herself and her family who supported her. None of them were rich. Her two sons work in a factory here in town. Her daughter works at IKE. I mean, none of them were rich, but she felt that she needed to take care of herself. She felt that she needed a yearly mammogram, and thank goodness she did, because if she hadn't, she'd either be eat up with cancer right now, or she probably soon would be and not even know it, and it would be dead. But because she's alive today, I mean, you could definitely thank the good graces of God that she's alive today. But she did something herself. It's not because of a government program or because of a charitable program. It's because Beautiful took it upon herself to take care of herself. And how much of that do we have left anymore? I mean, I am so weary of people, you know, when Medicare Part D kicked in and they started paying for prescriptions, and then the whole donut hole thing arrives. Do you know how many people, and if you're one of them, you know, you don't have to get up and walk out, but they would take their medicine until the donut hole came, and they wouldn't take it until it went away. And I was like, where were you when there wasn't a donut, when there wasn't anybody paying for your medicine? Or they want the expensive medicine, and then when the donut hole kicked, they want the cheap stuff, and then when it was over, they wanted the expensive stuff again. I mean, where is the whole idea of somebody taking care of themselves? Yeah. So, like I said in the beginning, I'm an optimist. And a lot of the stuff I've heard has been optimistic. And when it comes to health care, I've been trying to think, you know, once it went past, for a day or two, I just felt like somebody shot my dog. You know, I bummed around, patients came in, they were bumming. I mean, all these people that are supposed to be so happy, I haven't met any of them. Then I got to thinking, maybe this shock will wake us up. Because I can tell you, I voted, and I consider that being politically active. But I didn't get up in front of people and talk about it. I didn't bug people about it at work. I didn't wear a t-shirt. I didn't do anything. I just went and voted. And I kept my opinions to myself. But now I'm awake. And hopefully we'll all be awake. You know, you see a statistic and you see, you know, that finally more than 50% of Americans are against abortion. Finally. If we start voting that way and those 51% start voting that way, yeah, I think it's time we can take back our country. Thank you for listening. Thank you guys for having me.